going through the Omega rays, which apparently have a bunch of bosses from old FF games. How's Markov? My apologies. It was not my intention to undermine the gravity of the situation with this diversion. I'd noticed the kettle was boiled, and though some tea would soothe my nerves, I poured myself a cup. I was halfway through drinking it before I realized my hand, not to mention the rest of me, had turned invisible. I understand the situation is unsettling, but I assure you, I can still work unimpeded. Now, we'd best discuss how best to approach. Oh. Seems to have worn off. Quack. Quack, quack. No, you're not to blame. I did ask you to fill the kettle after all. I had forgotten what Nero had said about your card producing water with unexpected properties. Though it seems the effects were rather different this time. Well, best of luck. Next time get 8, time after that get 9, time after that kick that stupid moth's butt. In any case, 'twas unpleasant to have a distraction from our greater foes, however brief. Set the rest of the water aside for now and decide what to do with that later. Yeah, that's valid. Just jump from 7 to 10? Such hopeful thinking. Alright, Archon. We need to talk about your forthcoming contest with Midgard Summer. Watching through the monitor, I could see the swarm appeared different to the one we know. No duh. From everything we've heard thus far, it seems that Omega and Midgard Summer both hail from different stars. Two distant worlds at war with one another. As a result of that conflict, the worm was forced to gather his offspring and leave his home behind. And after evading Omega's pursuit over the course of its unimaginable journey, the Father of Dragons arrived right here on our world. I'm assuming the entity you're to face is a younger, more vital Midgard Summer, just as he was when Omega first encountered him, thousands of years in the past. A formidable foe indeed. Apparently Mel wants a centimeter to inch or inch to centimeter formula. It's basic math. The one thing I can't figure out is how to round the result. Thought I'm once the keeper of the lake, but... Hey, you've fought against Midgard Summer before. But yes, I think I see your concern. Twould be wise to treat this as the same opponent, considering how different they might possibly be. It certainly doesn't help matters that Omega's little surprise isn't registered as an official test subject. Can't even use the terminals to search for the most basic information. With that in mind, Archon, I have a proposal. I wish to leave the completion of this supplemental stage entirely in your heroic hands. Rather than twiddle my thumbs whilst you prepare to contend with the dragon, I mean instead to work on a strategy for our inevitable confrontation with Omega. And then, my friend, we'll put a stop to this mad machine once and for all. Do I think you can, like, shove JavaScript into Fossabot? You should just be able to use an eval with a JavaScript round function to do it, but... Glad we're in agreement. I'll ready my tools and you ready yours. You've a worm to slay. I just don't know JavaScript. Glad my theory on how to do it makes sense. Okay, let's queue up for Alpha Escape. And wait 11 bajillion years. Or 15 minutes. Whichever. Oh, that was quick. Yeah, okay. They're just angry because they're functionally unnecessary in this game a lot of the time. Go look up the healer strike. Like, there are... How am I supposed to see that coming exactly? Akamorn. Kefka was fun. Right. Akamorn is multiple steps. Not even seeing, like, you use skills. What the hell? We're looking at pure visual tells here? We must be. Or it's in cycles? Like, what is going on here? There's tells I'm missing. Someone is hard casting a heal on me. Okay. Most of the issues with healers being superfluous is around me not being an idiot. Separately, a lot of the tank classes have too much built-in healing ability and like sustain and stuff, is the complaint. We had an example of it earlier. Or like, yeah, it is always the DPS's fault. I'm not disputing that. I'm just bad right now. That'll happen like when you do fights for the first time live on stream. I've never fought this guy before. Where are you? Let me punch you, big dumb dragon. If a tank dies, it's the healer's fault. If the healer dies, it's the tank fault. If the DPS dies, it's their own damn fault. Oh boy, good old ice. That was cool. Why did I stand there? Ah, that makes sense. I literally looked the dragon dead in the eyes and was like, yeah, I'm gonna stand still. That's fine, we beat it anyway. Miqo'te somewhere down. Do I want to open this? Is there anything good that comes out of this? Maybe. Nope. I was hoping for the Archestrian roll, but that decided not to show up. Another stunning victory, Archon. Felt the breath catch in my throat on more than one occasion. And even as I watched the battle rage, I was struck by an idle thought. Did you notice a resemblance between Midgard Summer and Shinryu? Like most primals, Shinryu's form had no basis in any system of belief. Further theory that the summoner was simply influenced by the majesty and power of the elder primal Bahamut. Now, beginning to think there might be another explanation. The primal took its shape from the ancestor of all dragons on Hydaelyn. The widely held concept of how a dragon appears has, for centuries upon centuries, been rooted in depictions of Midgard Summer. The summoner may not have been even sought to imitate him specifically. Subconscious thoughts and memories alone could have guided the similarity. Not that I have any way of confirming this theory, of course. Nevertheless, 'tis interesting that Shinryu's summoning should lead us to awakening Omega. Strange twist of fate when you consider the machine's connection to Midgard Summer. Well, whatever else Destiny has in store, you've already bested the opponent that Omega itself failed to overcome. Feat worthy of celebration, I'd say. Okay, Sid, let's go. Your move, Omega.
Blip. Shutdown initiated. All core experiments and supplemental testing concluded. Discarding test worlds. System resources rerouting to primary operations. Congratulations, Alpha Group. As the last surviving test subjects, you have removed every challenger on your path to reach me.
Now, Omega's got like a bunch of test worlds that he's pitting creatures against each other in order to find the strongest. He's destroying those test worlds.
As the last surviving test, every challenger on your path to reach me. I, too, am eager to meet you in battle. The margin of error I observe between my simulations and your practical performance against Miqo'te necessitates direct and immediate analysis. Blip. Confrontation imminent. Prepare for unmitigated hostilities. Then activate the relocation device to enter the arena.
This is it then. Omega's power might seem overwhelming, but trust in old Sid. I have a fair idea of where its weakness lies. And I've been working on something to exploit that vulnerability. I just need a little more time to prepare. Nah, that would be silly. Sid needs to act like he's the goddamn smartest person in the room. Probably because he is, but also, like, share some of your brilliance. You okay there, buddy? First things first, we make a few adjustments here, like so. Ah, Alpha, do you have any of those tricks and tools left over? I want us to have as many options as possible, so let's lay our cards on the table, as it were. Because his tools are cards? Was that the joke? Okay, that's a card. That's a gemstone, and those are rocks. Do we have here some sort of gem and a couple of stones? One single card. Makes things bigger, does it? Or is it smaller? Why don't you try it and find out? Right. 'Twas foolish me to even ask. We'd best leave you in charge of when and how to use your special tools. Ah, yes, I almost forgot. Can always claw things if you run out of tricks. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll do fine. It's fine. You'll do fine. Fine. Invisibility potion? Here, you should carry this as well. Filled an empty bottle with the invisibility water from the kettle. It might just prove useful in the right situation. Listen to me, Alpha. Up until now, Omega has poked and prodded us from one mad experiment to the next. And honestly, we have no idea what might happen in there. Between us, I believe we have the knowledge and the skills to prevail. If you see a chance to make a difference, I want you to take it. All you need is faith in yourself. And a little courage to see it through.
Hi, my name is Alpha, and I exist for merchandising.
Alright, Jesse should have that device put together by now. Let's head outside, shall we? Nah, I left Mel Brooks in charge of it. I'll head straight back to Ralger's Reach and collect my new toy. I do still need to run through a final inspection, so feel free to rest in town in the meantime. We'll discuss strategy the moment I'm finished.
Quah! Quah quah!
Alpha seems concerned for Sid's well-being. You have a feeling he wants you to follow him. I have one concern. We're about to head into Alphascape V3 to fight Omega. What the hell's in V4? Why am I going this way? Ralger's Reach is over this way. Ah, okay. Toby sounds terrifying. Almost like something Mel would name a cat. Toby with the toe beans. I don't know. Also, why does a machine have an older sibling? Okay, Mel. I wrote you your damn commands, by the way. If you didn't see them. Okay. So I wrote them while I was thinking about it. Ah, I see the reply now. Mel, I have 4 letters that will serve as my only further answer to this question. A, D, H, D. You're looking a bit shaky there, old friend. you out of bed, did they?
After studying the data collected from the battle between Omega and Shinryu, one is led to a certain conclusion. Of all the Primal's attacks, Shinryu's burst of lightning was the one thing that pierced the machine's defenses. Omega, it would seem, is vulnerable to electrical energy.
Well, that's just goddamn lazy. Aye, all the available evidence supports such a theory. 'Tis likely an intrinsic weakness that even Omega itself can't fully compensate for. Yet, be that as it may, I imagine it can still shrug off shocks generated by ordinary means, only to hit it with a truly gargantuan blast of energy. I'm trusting you. It's Dark who doesn't.
So you made that. You based on Midas's design, didn't you? Plans for the lunar transmitter?
When my father was establishing a connection between the transmitter and Dalamud, he invented a method for accumulating and converting energy on a vast scale. That's a thing that happened. Too vast, as it turned out. The technology which leveled an entire town may be exactly the tool we need for the task at hand. I've made my own improvements and triple-checked the calculations. On parchment, the idea is sound. Jesse has done a fine job assembling these parts.
Fail to see the problem. What are you afraid of, Garland?
To be fair, it didn't seem like it was Struble who didn't know what it was. I don't know. A device should give us the edge we need. 'Tis just... Whenever I look at it, I'm taken back to those dark days after the incident. I remember bodies melted by searing heat. I remember the bereaved. Feel the weight of their silent accusations. I remember the Empire's remorseless response. Keeping your mouth shut seems, incongruous with streaming. We turned outwards in search of answers, but the inventions we created to ensure our future were used instead to destroy lives, to wage war. That's why I fled. I came to Eorzea and swore to only employ technology for benevolent ends. Oh, okay. That doesn't sound like you. But not as ever so straightforward. Every connection I have forged with the people of this realm reminds me of that fact. Often the act of living itself is a never-ending struggle against a world determined to oppose you. Is that Graha? What's the damn... What is the word I am searching for? Intrusive. You just need to not give voice to the intrusive thoughts immediately while you're on stream. Or do. I'm your mod, not your supervisor. You can have the best intentions, still cause hurt to yourself or others. But 'tis in confronting these wounds that we learn the better path, how to grasp those moments of true contentment. Drivel. We never used to bother with all these tedious introspection. Feeling our mortality, are we? Mayhap I am. I had no such hesitation when I was a student. It was all bright and shiny innovation on the double, and later consequences be damned. Yeah, I want to get stickers so I can put, like, after Henri has been redeemed for a page and Vamp has taken the picture, I can, like, put a sticker on it. So that I can really quickly, like when I open to a random page, I can go, oh, I've done this page before. And open to another page. Now though, I don't mind thinking through the outcomes and taking the time to produce just one rigorously tested and carefully designed intervention. Also, like, a paperclip covers both sides of the page, so I'd have to remember which side of the page I'm paperclipping, otherwise I would think I labeled 2 pages. A sticker is only on one side of the page, so I know which side I... 'Tis a reflection, I think, of just how much there is in this world I would care about now, aside from myself. I don't understand you at all. But I suppose, if anything, Omega and its unfettered testing methods represent the student you once were. And if you insist that your present self is the better one, then you'd best prove it with that device of yours. Suppose I must. Although, 'tis hardly fair to compare my youth to Omega's solitary existence. I always had the second best student in class pushing me to excel. I seem to recall a twinge of irritation every time he would outscore me on an exam. I've been out of bed too long. I better go and lie down before I fall over. Or vomit. That's the closest you're getting to a compliment, Nero. Whee! Alpha's having fun.